Welcome to our podcast. I'm Stacey Donadio.
And I'm Shannon Fasone from Turnkey Women,
where we're opening doors for women in business.
Cheers.
Okay, we're back with our second episode of the Turnkey Women's Alliance podcast.
Woohoo! Yeah.
We are your hosts, Stacey and Shannon. And today we have with us our friend Julie Zack from Purple World
Virtual Solutions.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for making the trip down.
Julie is also one of our founding members. I think, no, you are the first. I remember opening the mailbox and being like, it's real, Stacey. It's real. And it was like the best. It was the coolest feeling. Like it really, really was. So we were super excited. Julie came to our open house in August at Red Bank Design Center, and she got it. She just got what we were about. She was part of our tribe, and it was immediate. And actually, I think I saw you on Instagram and sent you the...
Yes, she reached out originally.
Right?
We
reached out.
Original recruitment.
It was.
Stalk people on Instagram.
Well, we slid into some DMs, I'm not going to lie, and it worked.
It still does.
It still works. Tried and true. But Julie came down. Julie, where are you from?
I live in Little Falls, so I'm up in Passaic County, but considering that my company is, remote, I figured let me come on down, meet you ladies, and, because I can work with anybody anywhere.
All right, and you've been traveling, too.
I have been traveling.
Yes, and you've been working while you travel.
Yes.
Yes, and how's that?
That's amazing. It's one of the biggest reasons why I started my company, to be able to work remotely, so I can work from anywhere, and so I can do the best of both worlds. I can travel, I can visit my friends and family that live around the country, and still be able to help my clients.
Yeah, that's great. What was that leap like, going from corporate America into solo entrepreneurship?
That was really crazy because I worked in corporate for over 20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean...
Overachiever.
Very. I was sent to work at home during the pandemic, and I really loved that freedom. I won't lie, I loved being able to do my laundry in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon while I'm still doing a bunch of work. My dog loves it. I can never go back to that lifestyle. I mean, literally, if I can't make an appointment for earlier than like 3 hours from waking up, because I need that time to just, have it to myself and ease my way into the day. I have no idea how I used to do it before, where I would just wake up and go to the office and be on at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's that chaotic energy. It's not a good way to start the day. It's
absolutely
like,
not.
Go.
It's such a good way to say it. Yeah.
It's true, though, if you think about it. Like, think about, like, high school or even college when you would wake up late for class. Like, it set the tone for the day.
Exactly.
You were always going to get your bag caught on the door on the way out the door. You were going to spill coffee on yourself as you're, like, this is a much nicer life.
Yes.
I agree. I think that's why we do what we do, too.
Exactly.
So what is your company and what is the role? And for people who aren't familiar with that, can you just educate us on what that looks like?
Yeah, so my company, I'm an online business manager, recently certified. And
I saw that. Good job.
Thank you. And actually, somebody I met through a networking group recently, he coined it best, where he's like, oh, so you're like an online office manager. And I was like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. So I help the business owners that are overwhelmed, overworked, disorganized, by coming in and helping them manage the day-to-day operations of their business, so then they can focus on what they're best of, be in their zone of genius. So if you're, say, in sales, or even if it's a technical, like plumber or painter, you can be out there meeting the clients while I'm handling, making sure that customers are invoiced, or that you're making sure that you're getting your payments. I can help you build a team. So I really feel that was, really taking on my strengths. With over 20 years of working in offices, I've always either been an office manager or an executive administrative assistant. So that was always my role, being behind somebody else and basically planning their life and helping them build their business. So now I can do it on my terms, on my schedule, do it remotely, and help people build their businesses.
Fantastic. Now, what types of businesses primarily are you working with? Are you all across the board, or are you, like with marketing companies, real estate firms?
It's something that I've been trying to niche down. I would like to work maybe with some coaches or individuals that have, a program or a product that they want to launch. One of the biggest things that I learned in my course to be certified is that the biggest part of this position is helping people plan what they want to do. So say you want to launch a new program and you're trying to, reach out to your ideal clients. I would be the person that's doing that roadmap to get you to that point. Bringing in the team members that you need to be able to do that launch. The other thing I learned is I love writing, but what I've realized is I love technical writing. So drafting an SOP, a standard operating procedure manual, so anybody off the street could come in and do another person's role or job. Because it's very technical, it's very detail oriented, and that's one of my biggest strengths. My friends and family would laugh at me. They're like, "Oh, you're a planner. Everything is, scheduled minute by minute," but that's me.
That's how you're wired.
That's how I'm wired. And if you're not, we can collaborate.
Enter Julie.
Enter Julie.
Enter Julie.
No, it's true, because I know so many business owners that, they're juggling balls all day long, and that seems to be one that a lot of them struggle with, is the technical detail, step by step, whether it's manuals, whether it's employee handbooks, the things that are so vital to their operations that they just can't seem to sit down and lay out in a way that, like you said, anybody can come in and just sit down and do the job that they need. So,
well, a lot of times is they don't have the time to do it.
There you go. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that is going to be one of those tasks that falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
Because, if you're trying to build a business, you ladies know.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing? You want to reach out to your clients. You want to bring that revenue in. But then other tasks are falling within the cracks, and
that clerical stuff always falls to the side.
Exactly. That's
now,
the last thing.
How much time do you think it takes you on average to formulate one of these SOPs?
Well, basically, so coming in to collaborate with a business, it's, we structure it's like 90-day commitment.
Okay.
That first 30 days is really learning the nuts and bolts of the business, talking to the team members. If there's no team members already on, it's deciding who you need on your team to get you to where your goals are. So it's really figuring out exactly what's going on with that business, and then the next 60 days is implementing the plan. So I would talk to the business, be like, what is your goals? What do you want to accomplish in the next year? And then me drafting the roadmap of, okay, this is what we're going to do in the first quarter, this is second quarter, by pulling out what the top 3 priorities are.
Okay. So it sounds like in addition to you helping people with on the business management side, you're also like a
coach.
Consulting.
Yeah. Like a coach.
Yeah, a little bit. It's strategizing.
Yeah.
So what I say is that I'm part director of operations, part project manager, and part strategic thinker. I want to get out
you become a therapist at some point.
I would love to.
Inevitably, right?
Eventually, I would love to coach other women, especially women that were stuck in that grind for so long and then want to try something new. Because it's difficult. I still get in my head about, no, I have to be working between 9 to 5.
Right.
And, I work best first thing in the morning.
Me too.
Hopping on the computer right at 7 in the morning, where other people it's better at night. And that's one of the biggest things. And I spoke to someone yesterday, and they gave me the term non-linear work week, where I can go to the gym at 10 a.m. and take that kickboxing class and then come home and freshen up and then talk to a client online and have a Zoom. And I think what the best thing is that I'm filling my cup before anything else, and and that's one thing that I'm really excited about our next event, because it's talking about wellness and self-care. And I know as women, that's one of the last things that we do, especially if you have a family or if you have kids and you're running a business. But one of the biggest things I learned since the pandemic is I have to fill my cup before I can fill anybody else's.
I need someone to teach me. Can you write me a standard operating procedure
on
self-care?
Absolutely.
Or you could just come March 1st and we'll be talking about it for
that was
2
a
hours.
perfect segue
Yeah.
right
Thank
into
you.
the next event.
She's never podcasted
right?
before.
But
What? Did you write a standard operating procedure for this? Because we
No,
did.
but
It's right there.
I
She
was
has
going
it.
over the conversation in my head on the drive down. I'm like, okay, what am I going to say?
I know.
So I don't sound like
I
a
know.
complete moron.
No, you're doing great.
Please.
So our next
I'm just
event,
going to go out and
March
have
1st,
a coffee.
right? We have
Yeah.
lifestyle coach Alessia Witt. She is phenomenal. I've worked with her She's also an Arbonne consultant. So she put me on a 30-day reset, which was better than I thought. I really was scared. I thought I was going to starve to death, but I did not. And I did notice my whole digestive tract seems like to have been changed. But I think what Alessia's plan is, from what we discussed last time for this event, is she really wants to have this be like a conversation with all of the attendees to see like what do we need? What
Yeah.
can she help us with? And she is really big on what you just said, filling your cup first, having a good morning routine that doesn't necessarily have you flying right into work, and then learning that time balance. Like, I think, like Shannon, I don't know how you feel about it, but I know for me, my job's a little unconventional, to say the least. So I do really feel like I need to be working 24 hours a day.
Right.
You know, I'll go to bed thinking about clients. I don't want to be thinking about clients at 10 o'clock at night, but
You
I have
do.
dreams about them. Sometimes it's nightmares. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm not sure, did that really happen right before bed, or was that a dream? So I would like to learn how to separate and be able to focus. Like, when we go have our massages, I'd like to not be thinking about
Same.
transactions.
I literally sat in the massage the other day and said to myself, stop thinking, because you can no longer feel the massage
Yes.
that you came here to get. Like, I
Yes.
did numerous times, not just once or twice. I had used to do this thing at night where I would visualize windshield wipers in my brain to wipe the thoughts away and go to bed. Christian, that's real. Christian's our engineer. He's looking at me like, is she really talking about this? Welcome to the world of Shannon, Christian. Welcome.
Welcome to the podcast.
Now you know what we're about. But literally, windshield wipers, wiping my brain.
I think it's genius.
Or crazy. There
You're
is that
crazy.
line. They say there's that line, and I love to walk it. I'll take the genius compliment with the crazy every day of the week. But it goes to the fact that as women, professionals, whatever, we are just never stopping. And, you know,
Yeah.
I think that's what you probably bring to so many business owners, is the ability to focus on what they need to, so you can handle the details and get their operational stuff going. So
Exactly. And it's a lot of, what we as women deal with, besides the fact of self-care and why we only get one day as women, why it's not International Women's Month or at
Yeah.
least week, but that's a whole nother topic
Decade,
for another
year.
show. It's also, self-care, but also boundaries. I know, especially in real estate, because I also have my license, but they say you really got to say, okay, I'm turning my phone off at 7 o'clock so I can have family time. I mean, just in this week, I've come up with a new morning routine where I'm trying not to look at my phone for like the first hour and a half, so I can do a little meditation. I can walk my dog. Realize that the walk is as much for me as it is for her.
sure.
And do you leave the phone at home?
The phone is at home, so it does go off, with the alarm. I put it there. I actually downloaded my meditation through Spotify on my tablet. So now I can have my tablet, I go right to my journal, and then I have a Kindle so I can read, and then I go to the phone because, you get on the phone and it's, okay, email first, and then Facebook, Instagram, and then next thing you know, you're in a K-hole watching a bunch of videos, and 2 hours have gone by.
Right.
The truth.
Right.
And that's discipline, because my phone is right there and I'm twitching.
Mine's
It's not in
here,
my hand.
upside down, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
But also when I watch stuff that...
did the email come in? Because we're settling tomorrow.
Like you
did
were
it
just
come in?
talking about TV shows. I watch really awful reality shows.
Same.
I'm watching Perfect Match on Netflix because I know I can kind of sort of listen to it while
Yep.
I'm just mindlessly scrolling on my
And
phone.
it numbs my brain. It's
Yeah.
that automatic
But
windshield
it's
wiper.
also like an addiction. The phone is
Love.
an absolute addiction.
100%.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, when you've turned it off and you're still going to grab it. Like, it's just, I smoked for a long time. So it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, but it's now a phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I never used to let my 5-year-old take my phone, and now he wants this one app, and now I give it to him just so that I am present.
Break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm present with them. Like, I don't care that he's listening to songs or whatever, but so that I am not like this with my kids running around, because it's like,
Oh, and they see it.
I do it with
Of
my dog. She
course.
comes over, starts pulling at
Yeah.
my arm like, Mom, put the phone down.
Yeah.
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 It's a
We all
horrible
need
addiction.
to
It
just
is.
reset, and I think that, you know, Stacy really wanted to do this wellness event. I am the worst when it comes to wellness. My husband, for the last, I don't know, 6 months, has been hounding me. I finally called the dentist yesterday to make another appointment, and I called the to do my mammogram. And I sat there and I actually had it on my to-do list. The dermatologist is still on there, but I'm going to get to it. But we have to make and it's crazy that we have to do those things, because if we're not okay,
Yeah.
everything around us is gonna
Right,
not
But the
be
kids'
okay.
appointments were
They're
all
already done.
scheduled. Yeah, I did
Done.
the same thing. Yeah, I've got everything coming up in the next couple months, and it's hard, and it's because and it's really a problem with women because
Yeah.
we're brought up to do this, and this.
Keep
and
moving
the
along.
The family comes 1st, and nowadays, I mean, every day you're hearing about somebody younger and younger. That's
I just
either
heard about
had-
somebody 40 years old who had a stroke. I'm
Exactly.
40 years old?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just turned 44 and I had, we're going to edit that one out. I had a mild. What are you laughing at, Kristen?
I know, and it just hit me. I'm like, oh, I'm older than you. 'Cause I just turned 45.
Happy birthday. But when I heard that, it was like, oh my God. And then I thought about, like, my dad had his heart attack at 42. And now you really start to think,
Oh, the mortality's real.
Oh,
yes. And I read a meme somebody put on Instagram as we're talking about putting our phones down. However, it said, you really need to take the time for good eating and exercising. And don't say you don't have the time now, because later in life, you're going to have to make the time for an illness. And I was like,
Correct.
oh, like that one hit.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm really hoping to get out of this event.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody says, oh, I don't have the time.
Right.
I don't have the time to go to the gym. I don't have the time to cook a meal, so let me go get, takeout or something.
Yeah.
And it's exactly right. Well, then you're going to have to deal with, an issue, or even if it's not that, then you're on medication. I mean, that's the other thing. You see all the commercials about medication, and it's like the list of side effects is
Terrifying.
worse than
The disease.
the actual
Right.
what you're taking
Could
it for
cause
in the
death.
first place.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
sign
yeah.
me up.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Is my illness going to
No,
cause death, or just
I-
the medication I'm going to take for it?
I know. I was listening to, she's going to come to me, Glenda Baker. No,
Love her.
I do love Glenda Baker too, but it wasn't Glenda Baker. We'll circle back on who it was. But she was talking about setting up your evening for your morning. So, and I'm so guilty of this. So I've started doing it in the past week, and it's totally made a difference in my morning. Like, we're all exhausted at the end of the day, right? So for whatever reason it is. For me, it's because I have all these children and this job.
I
and
love
a
when you say
dog.
that.
And it's exhausting. And so there's so many times where I would pour my glass of wine, sit on the couch, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
So now there's a sink full of dishes. No lunches have been made for the next day. Homework is strewn about, and then we're getting it ready in the morning, and it's just that chaotic energy that sets the tone for the day. So I've just made it a point now where dishes are all in the dishwasher, backpacks are packed, lunches still working on that. A lot of
We're all
times-
a work in progress.
We're all a work in progress, exactly. A lot of
Rome
times
wasn't
it's
built in a
just
day.
Take some money to go buy it at school.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, and I'm noticing it's just different. The kids are happier. I'm happier. Mike's already at work, so he's happy. Everyone's happy. The dog's happy because she got to play with the kids in the morning instead of listening to me scream at them. So I'm hoping that this workshop will maybe give me some more
Clarity.
tips,
Yeah.
anything. Help
Yeah.
me. Alessia, help me.
Well, the other thing that I've heard is to do your to-do list the night before.
Yes.
Because that's going to get it off your brain, so you're not thinking about it when you try to go to sleep with the windshield wipers.
Yep.
But the other thing that I had always heard, especially if you have kids, get up a little, even if it's half an hour earlier.
Before they do.
Yeah.
So even if it's you can shower and get ready in peace, or just to have a cup of coffee and get yourself in the right mindset before they get up.
It's really life-changing. I do it every Thursday, and only because I was able to join this great referral group. And they meet at 7 a.m. in Asbury Park. So I'm up at 5:30, and I don't know why I don't do it every day, because I really don't feel that tired when I wake up. I hop in
No.
the shower. I have such this peaceful start
Yeah.
to the day. It's wonderful. But then come Friday, I'm like, snooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my biggest suggestion because you do have a household. I mean, I was getting up at 5 a.m., but that was to drive across town to go to a workout class. Now I get up at 6, and by 7:30 I've done my little thing, my little routine, and I'm either getting on the computer doing a couple hours of work before I go work out, and yeah, it's nice
That's
to
nice.
ease into the day, even on the weekends. Now it's like I don't do a class before like 10 o'clock, and I sleep until about 7, and I go take my dog to the park. Basically, at the end of the day, my life revolves around my dog.
Which is fine.
Because I don't have the little people. I have a
Yes,
dog.
you do. I think animals can be more work,
oh,
to be
yeah.
honest. My
Yeah.
goodness, they can definitely be. You definitely have a child.
Yeah. They're needy.
Yes.
They're very needy.
So what would you give a business owner as a few tips that they could do or take away from your services to, obviously we know what you do, but maybe some tips that could help them and understand better how you could assist their efforts in their businesses?
Well, the number one tip is really assess what you're doing every day.
Okay.
Maybe for like a week, just jot down, what are you doing every single day? What is
Oh,
taking
okay.
up your time? Because
Interesting.
then you can analyze it at the end of the week and be like, okay, well, I spent like 3 hours on emails, or, you're going to see where your time goes, because when you're in the moment and you're in the day, you don't really realize. But if you just track it for like a couple days or up to a week, you can also see what were you doing that really could be outsourced.
Oh,
Like,
interesting. Yeah.
look at your everyday life.
Like a time suck. Where's your time suck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hire, even though I work from home and I'm home all day, I hired a cleaning company for just once a month to come in and do a deep clean, because I don't want to do it on the weekends. I don't enjoy it.
Right.
Some people take their laundry out. I mean, some people get the food service or have their groceries delivered. How come we can do that in our everyday life to free up? And what are we freeing our time up? Probably to do more work.
Oh, totally.
So
You just spoke directly to me, because I don't put out my laundry, but I do Instacart for my groceries every week. I have the cleaning lady come every other week. And yet I have a very hard time
So you can focus more on work.
outsourcing tasks at work.
Right. So if you find out
She
where
even tends to do other people's work in the transactions, which is
It's true.
yeah.
It's a problem. Put that on the list, Alessia.
Yeah, so it's like, I think if you figure out where the time suck is,
Yeah.
what you can outsource, but also it's just like everything else. You have to admit that you have a problem and that you can admit that you need help.
Yeah.
Because that's the first step.
I would think
You
that is
know?
the toughest
And it's-
part, especially for business owners who are
Especially for women. We don't want to
type
admit that
A,
we need help.
yeah, control freak, I can handle it, I can
And then
do it
it's,
all.
trusting in somebody else. But it's, it's just like bringing somebody onto your team.
Right.
If you can have a VA, and some people do confuse what I do with actual VAs, and there is a difference. The VA is the doer. The virtual assistant is the one that's going to do the task. Me as the online business manager, I'm the one that's going to manage what all the team members are doing. So I'm not the
VAs
doer.
included?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So say you brought a VA on, but then you were like, hey, Jules, I need help with this, and this. I would make sure that all the key players are doing what they need to do. And
Okay.
that is the biggest difference is they
Oh,
are
I don't even think I
yeah.
was even aware of
yeah,
that
the
difference.
VA is the doer, where the OBM is the one making sure everything is getting done. So that's one of the key differences that people really don't understand. So it's, just admitting that you need the help and then trusting somebody, because
Yeah.
we would work extremely hand in hand. I'm not working really under you. We're partnering together.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm freeing time up for you and you can get more business and increase your revenue, you're going to realize that, hey, I really need to keep Julie on.
Sure.
And that's what I want. I want my clients to be happy. I want them building their business. I want them making more money. So they want to realize that they need to keep me on so I can
The
help
value.
them.
They realize your
Yes,
value.
exactly.
I mean, I
The
think it
value.
comes down to not just, I need to outsource stuff just to get it done, but a valuable member of your operation that has your back, has your best interest, and is
Yes.
pushing you forward to progress the business to more success.
Right, because my number one priority, it's not, the client person, it's the business.
Sure.
Every thought or every strategic idea that I'm going to help you come up with and help you implement is with the business as the number one priority.
And how many business owners can really look at their own in-house team to think that they even have that as their
Right.
objective or their focus.
Well, the other thing too is you could have a small team in place, but you may not even realize that one team member really isn't suited for that
Yeah.
position. So the other thing that I do is come in and do a team analysis. I want to talk to each team member, see what they feel their strengths and weaknesses are. What do you like about your position? What do you not like about your position? Maybe some people could be moved around. Maybe this person is only doing this, but they could really be doing a couple more tasks. And then also deciding, okay, do we need to bring somebody else in? And me, posting, doing the pre-screening and taking all of that off somebody's plate. I mean, I can remember in my last job, I was the person posting the jobs, doing the pre-screen interview, having them come in, and how much time it took,
Yeah.
my employer at the time to really meet with all these people. So it's
Sure.
like, we didn't really have an HR department, but, so it's that alone takes so much time if you have to build your team. So that right there, it's, you could call me and say, Jules, I just need to put a team together. I'm not sure if I need you to manage them, but I could use your help putting a team together.
So your services are a 90-day commitment? Are they a la carte? Is it like, how do you fit into the scheme of each business owner's needs, different business owners' needs?
The general packages for the online business management services are a 90-day commitment.
Okay.
Whether that's launch management, team management.
And then it's customized for the
Right.
needs of that business
Exactly.
owner. Got it.
We could do it, we call a strategy day, where we're just on a Zoom maybe for like 4 to 6 hours. And you're telling me everything that you want to do. And I give you ideas and tips of what you could do to fix the issues that you're having. But then you're implementing it.
Got it.
I'm not managing it. I'm basically just helping you come up with the plan.
Got it.
So
I love that. And you need
Yeah.
to give anything 90 days.
exactly.
Right.
I mean,
I would even say 6 months. Like that, but I
Yeah,
get it. That's a tough commitment to sign
Right.
up on. But
Yeah, because
90
you really
days is-
need that time to really, really learn what's going on. I always say, hey, tell me how your business is currently running, how you would like it to run. What do
Yeah.
you want to be doing in a year? And, there's a lot of information. I mean, I have a 4-page spreadsheet questionnaire with all of this information that I need about your business. I can't turn around in,
No, you have
just
to
a
become
week.
an expert
Yeah,
on
exactly.
a business
Yeah.
that you didn't start,
Right.
but you have to be able to
Yeah.
Help.
analyze it
Yeah.
and run it.
And
essentially.
the other key difference between an OBM and a VA could have 15 to 20 clients
Yeah.
at one point in time. Me as an OBM, I would never have more than say 3 or 4 and you would never want to start with two at the same time because you're learning about that business.
Right.
So,
so
know.
you're taking them on like different stages.
yeah,
Like maybe after 60 days, you'll take on a second
Exactly.
client. Okay,
yeah.
that's smart.
Yeah, and then once you get fully booked out, you're just working with them. Where the VA, they could just take on a
Right.
new client every day.
Whatever
because-
they can fit into, however long they really want to.
So, I mean, there
work
is
for.
a difference in the pricing structure, and I
As
have
there should be. An assistant versus a manager. I
Exactly.
mean, it really boils down to.
and with the certification that I got, that increases it as well. And there's been some people that I've talked to, and they don't understand the difference. They don't understand, why I have more value than say, a VA that's charging maybe $20 an hour, and
Right.
that's okay because then that's not my ideal
I
client.
was about to say it's not the right
Yeah.
fit, right?
The right fit
Yeah.
is the person that understands the value, understands that, what they're going to get in that, and that they're ready to make a change.
Yeah.
You have to be ready to want to grow your business. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I want to grow my business. But we all know there's stuff that you have to do to grow
Right.
your business. you know?
Action speaks volumes.
Exactly.
Right. And when they bring somebody on to assist with that, then they really look, they're
Right.
putting their money
It's
where
a
their mouth
commitment.
is, right?
It's
you're
it's
really
an investment.
right.
That's actually the right word to use. It's an investment in
Yep.
your business. And honestly, it's something that should be part of your budget.
And your business plan.
Yeah,
You should
exactly.
I mean, no one goes into business to stay where you're at.
Right.
The end goal is to always grow and progress
Yes.
and evolve if need be and change if need be, but to be able to move forward in the
Right.
end of it all. Well, that's awesome. I don't that was an education
I know. Thank you.
very much on your services, and I appreciate all that info because it gives us more of an idea of how we can, bring people your way and introduce your services so that it makes sense for people that we come into contact with.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Like, I do a lot of networking, but I do it with the intention knowing that you may not be my client, but
Maybe you'll know somebody.
exactly. It's going to be the friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And you're going to be talking to them and being like, oh my God, I'm pulling out my hair. I don't know what to do. And you're going to say, oh, you need to call Jules.
Right.
So that's, that's a whole nother thing. Networking is, you have to have the right intentions, you know, and
Oh, you can't just walk in and think you're going to walk out with 10 deals.
Right.
Exactly.
I know, and so many people do.
a lot of people do that. And no, you have to go with the intention of just having conversations. I'm an introvert. Me actually just sitting here right now,
I would have never.
Yeah, totally. I remember the very first event, I parked my car, almost left. I was like, okay, I'm here.
You know, it's
but I don't
funny.
know if
I
can
almost
walk
did that.
in.
Not at our events. Not at our, well, maybe at our second event. Maybe at
Yeah.
our first event, actually. But the first networking, when I went back into the workforce right after I had kids, I had to force myself to sit at a table with people. I could talk to the wall. People might prefer me talking to the wall, but I could talk to anybody, and that was like so hard for me. So hard for me.
Yeah. I count the wins. Me driving there was a win, walking inside, and then I at least just try to do it
Oh, you
an
did
hour.
great. That was a great.
I was super impressed.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
always
too.
I'm the one standing to the side. You actually
No.
grabbed me that night and we started talking, or else I probably would have, slipped out.
the
But
connector. Stacey.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's, if you go in with the intention of, hey, I'm just going to talk to a couple people, maybe I'll swap some cards, but then it's doing the follow up. It's,
Yeah.
there's
Building the relationship.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, obviously 90% of business in general,
Right.
and then what Turnkey is all about. And that's building collaborative relationships to progress women in business. And I hope that you are getting out of Turnkey what you came. And if nothing else, we love putting your stuff out there. It's always branded in a way that every time I see a post, I'm like, I know that's Julie.
Yep.
I know that's Julie. I don't even have to look at it anymore. And I'm like, share, Julie. Like, I know that's...
And I appreciate that.
But
Yes.
that speaks
Yes.
volumes to your abilities in what you've been working towards. Because when you're recognized in a branding way, that's a big deal. Like, these multi-billion-dollar companies spend all this money,
Yeah.
and all they had to do was call Julie.
I know.
Seriously.
Pepsi.
Who are you people?
Pepsi? I don't like Pepsi. Coke. I'm more of a Diet
Diet
Coke. Yeah.
All day.
No. Okay. Wellness. No soda.
Oh,
Not even Diet Dr. Pepper?
No. Water, coffee, or wine.
with creamer.
Or wine.
Wine.
All right. I love
with
that you
creamer.
Or
always
seltzer
threw that in there.
with.
I like
But didn't wait, off topic.
Or
Didn't
bubble.
you see there's like a new TikTok thing where you go to
I don't
McDonald's?
I don't TikTok.
Oh,
well,
you need to talk.
No.
You just need to
No.
observe the
Voyeur.
talk.
Yeah, be a
No.
voyeur.
They
I'm
get
doing reels. I don't need
the
to talk.
Orange high C, and then they put 2 McDonald's creamers in it, and it's like
A creamsicle?
Yeah.
There was another one that was before that where it was two
It
things
was
put
Coke.
together.
It was Coca-Cola, and then they do the the creamer in there too, and it's supposed to be like a float.
Oh, a cream
I don't know.
cream
I'm in.
soda.
I'm going.
That's
I'm
a cream
going.
soda.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I mean, didn't anybody know what a cream soda? Cream soda.
Yeah, whatever.
No,
Fan.
them, not you. You're not the TikToker who did it.
But we have to go get the high C. Anyway, back to this.
Circle back. But we
back.
love having you here. I think
thank
that now that I have a better understanding, and I'm glad that we had you come down to do this podcast because you do a deep dive into businesses and
Now
bring
we
them out
can-
on the
Now
other
we can
end.
share you on another level.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Not like we're pimping you out.
I didn't say
Share
that.
you on another level.
Hey, whatever pays the
works.
bills.
We don't judge. Turnkey does not judge.
whatever pays the bills. Get it in
We're
your
all
bag.
hustling here, and
Yes.
we all want to empower each other, and obviously the women. But if there's anything else that you wanted to share with us today, as far as anything we didn't cover, or what Turnkey might mean to you, or what being a woman in business means to you. A lot, right? I got
Yeah.
heavy. I went
did.
from
Yeah, she
creamsicle to give me the goods.
Well, one of the biggest things that I loved about Turnkey was that it is women. If you belong to a chamber, which, I do, a lot of the events are male dominated.
Yeah.
And, you know, the BNIs and the LATIPs, they're very heavily male oriented. So a group that was women, and, you know, just look at the conversation we had here today, talking about wellness, talking about, you know, kids and morning routines. Men don't get that.
No.
You know, and even though it's 2023, there's still that whole stereotype, the right word, but about women working in general.
Yeah.
And the pay gap and all of that. So I think any woman that has the balls to start their own business, you know, you're a queen right there. But, you know, I think if we stick together, then we can all
Keep going up.
rise up and grow our businesses.
Well, cheers. I can't think of a better way to end the podcast.
No, that was perfect. Thank you for coming, Julie.
Thank you
we
for
can't wait
having
to
me.
have you at our next event, which is March 1st at Stacy's office, Century 21 in Shrewsbury. You can go on turnkeywomen'salliance.com and register for tickets, and we hope to see you guys there.